Hi everyone, welcome back to an episode of A Life of KG. Today I have the absolute pleasure of interviewing Kim Jaynes. She is the owner and founder of Borboleta Beauty in America, the USA, and she talks all about growing her company and how she ended up hiring a CEO to grow the company and how she is running her businesses with her newborn baby who's absolutely gorgeous. So without further ado, here she is. Hi, Kim. Thanks so much for coming on the podcast.
Hi, it's so good to be here.
Yeah, thank you. So for those that don't know you, I'm sure all the big time lash artists know you anyway. But for those that don't, can you tell them who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so my name is Kimber Jaynes, and I am the founder of a company called Borboleta Beauty, and we specialize in eyelash extension education as well as products.
Okay, amazing. So you do lash yourself, or is it just the training side that you do?
You know what? I used to lash every single day, including Sundays, about I'd say 7 a.m. until about 9 p.m. most days.
But
Um, But since I started Borboleta, it's completely consumed my life. So I don't lash currently.
okay. So what kind of made you start your own business in the beginning then?
Um, there were a few different reasons. I would say the main reason was I had this phenomenal clientele that I had built. They gave me a chance. I went from being a hairstylist to learning how to do lashes, completely pivoted and only did lashes, built this clientele. They helped me through my parents' divorce. They helped me through relationships. I was also in $50,000 of credit card debt. And because of these clients, I was able to get out of that in a year just because they trusted me to do their lashes and they gave me work. Um, and so I felt like when I had this amazing clientele, I felt like I needed to offer them the best, and I couldn't seem to find the best product or the best education. And so I'm kind of the type of person that if I know that there's something better out there, but I'm not finding it, I will go to the ends of the earth to find it. Or, I'm just like a really kind of proactive type of person. I don't wait for opportunities to fall into my lap. So
Mhm.
I reached out to a few local artists that weren't really interested in collaborating or helping one another. And so I finally just said, well, I want my clients to have the best, so I'm going to develop a product line that I stand behind for them. And that was really kind of the intention of Borboleta. It was never meant to be what it is today. It was truly just meant to be something for my clients that I could stand behind. And that's kind of how it all got started.
Oh wow, because the brand is so big now, isn't it? I mean, I'm in the UK and I see it everywhere.
Oh, really? That's so
Yeah,
cool.
like on social media and stuff. It's just literally like, yeah, it's everywhere. I love it.
Oh, that makes me so happy. Yeah, it has grown. So we are turning 6 years old here in a couple of weeks, and um, it's yeah, it unexpectedly just grew right before my eyes, and I didn't even realize what was happening. I know that sounds kind of silly, but it just was one of those chains of events where it's like right place, right time.
Yeah, definitely. And when you're so passionate about something as well, it just grows like organically, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, and of course a ton of hard work, blood, sweat, and tears goes into anything that we're passionate about, but you're willing to go through that because you love it so much.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously something massive just happened to you. Congratulations on having your baby girl.
Thank you.
How
Thank
are
you.
you juggling like motherhood and this business? And I know what it's like to have a newborn baby and having to go straight back into work because I've done it myself. But how are you finding it? And you're traveling a lot as well.
Yeah, it's wild. I yeah, I think we can make anything look amazing on social media, and we only put out there what we want people to see. But um, the reality of it is, being a mom and running a business is incredibly hard. It's having Scotty's her name, was the most incredible experience I've ever had in my entire life. And I just feel like my entire life has completely changed. And in a weird way, I seem to have more balance because at night I turn my laptop off for the first time. I don't think about work. I give her my undivided attention. Whereas before, all I thought about was Borboleta and trying to get projects done and move. So I am finding this interesting balance being a mom. She also was diagnosed unexpectedly with cystic fibrosis, which has been, in and of itself, just a complete life change for my husband and I. But it's finding the silver lining in it has been hard, and I try to find the silver lining in everything. But um, there, there's a lot of things that you have to do with, especially a little baby that has CF. So um, because we have to do two treatments a day to help break up anything on her lungs, and she has to have a lot of just extra vitamins and different things all throughout the day. It's kind of put in perspective to me how important this little life is, and it's been even a step above a different type of bonding with her. So it's been yeah, a huge life change, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, I look at her and I just know she's going to be this strong, amazing woman, and I'm lucky that I get to be her mom and help guide her in life. And so um I guess I'm balancing motherhood and the business day by day. There's not really any, every day is different. I can't really have a schedule, and that's been hard for me. But um I think one thing I would tell any mom or anyone that's, thinking about becoming a mom and you're balancing a career and having children is, don't be so hard on yourself. You're doing the very best that you can do, and you you just can't be this perfect business owner. You can't be a perfect mother, but like, know that you're doing the very best that you can do, and just take that for what it is.
Yeah, 100%. I'm with you on that. I mean, bless you, Scott is such a lovely name, by the way. I love that.
Oh,
Um, and I've seen little pictures of her, and she's so teeny and just adorable. It's so cute.
yeah, she's a teeny little thing. We love her.
But I 100% get you when it comes to like just going day by day, and you do actually change kind of your work. I mean, I don't know about you, but when I fell pregnant, I couldn't imagine doing anything else other than work, because work was my baby at the time. And then it's not until you have this real life baby and everything changes, and actually you work around you and your child and your life rather than just working to work. And you actually, I think, well, we found that the business becomes so much more successful because I was working smarter and working in different ways, like not in, for example, we have salons, so I wasn't working in the salon, I was working on the salon, which I could do around baby. So the company does grow in different ways once you have a child, which I think is amazing.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love that perspective that you have on it too. And you probably did get to pull yourself out of the day to day and work more on high level strategy. That's way cool.
Yeah, definitely. So with your product range, I absolutely adore your packaging. Who was kind of like your inspiration, or what made you think of like your kind of look and style on your range?
Thank you. So you're probably gonna laugh, but it's actually a collaboration of a few different brands, and I feel like marketing and branding is a living and breathing project. It never quite stops. So when I first started Borboleta, my biggest inspiration, and still is to this day, was Joe Malone. I just love everything about Joe, and she's out of the UK, which I think is really cool.
Hmm.
Um, but I just was obsessed with her detail and packaging and the simplicity of everything, but like the how it was such an experience when you opened your perfume or what have you from her. So Jo Malone definitely was a huge inspiration to me. As things have progressed over the years, I've really looked a lot to, I love Glossier. They they are a little bit more of like the millennial type, and I feel like I'm not really a millennial, not really not a millennial. I feel like I fit in like this weird phase with them, but I do really love and am inspired by Glossier. A couple other brands that I really like that aren't necessarily like a brand, but a lot of companies that I like. Violet Gray. It's just a kind of like a little storefront that sells cosmetics boutique on Melrose Place, and it's very beautiful, and they really support female founders. I think it's really cool. So all of those brands kind of have inspired me to push Borboleta to where it's at today. And I really appreciate you saying that about the packaging. If you like what you're seeing right now, I'll give you a little plug. Um, you're really going to like what you see here coming up. And I can't say when, but I can say it's pretty soon. And I'm really excited because we've been working on a lot of projects, and yeah, there it's hard for me to even stay quiet about it, but yeah, there's some good stuff coming down the pipeline.
Oh, tell me. No,
Um,
that's exciting. We look forward to seeing that.
yeah.
So, how many people on your team, like team members and trainers, and how do you kind of like keep a good team going?
So we have about 40 educators worldwide. So we have across the US, Canada, Mexico, Brazil, uh, and Portugal.
Wow.
Yeah, so and our training team is just incredible. I'm so inspired by them and what they do and how hard they work. So yeah, we have about 40 educators, and then in office, we have just about 50 employees. So we're still considered a a fairly small company, but we're on the trajectory to grow quite a bit in this next year too.
Small, that sounds huge to me.
I mean, I don't know. Our CEO comes from a tech company where they had like a team of 200. So I always hear that and I'm like, whoa, like that's a huge team. So, but yeah, then I also look at Borboleta and I'm like, how did this just go from like me and my husband to like what it is today? That's wild too. So yeah, I guess it's all how you look at it, but.
Yeah, a huge well done. That's amazing, especially for companies nowadays. Like it's so hard to keep companies afloat and grow. So you're doing amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, it's employees definitely make or break your company, and I've learned that over the years. I've learned a lot about myself through working with so many different personalities, and I think one of the most important things in scaling and growing any type of company or vision that you have is really hire the right people. And I know that's like, well, duh, like, why would you hire the wrong person? But if you think about it, sometimes when you need a role filled, you're just like, oh, this person fell into my lap, like, I'm going to take them. Or this person might not be qualified for the role, but I'll teach them. Um, and I've learned that it's just best to find people that are qualified for the roles and don't try to make someone fit. Hire people that are better than you and be okay with that. Don't be threatened by hiring someone that knows more than you. Knowledge is power, and I've learned more from working with the different types of personalities than I've ever learned in my entire life. And it's a humbling moment because you feel like, well, I'm the owner here. I should know everything about my business. But I feel like I learn several things every single day, whether it's from, um, our receptionist when I walk in and how organized and detail oriented she is, or I learned something from our head of ops about just an amazing operation system. And so I think you just have to be very open minded and not be scared that someone's going to come in and take over your business, but be inspired by the people that you're hiring because they're working for you to fulfill this amazing vision. And so learn from them and appreciate them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a really valid point. And I love that you mentioned about hiring people that are better than you, because that's something that I've always said. Like, you want people in your team that are better than you, because that's how you're going to grow. Especially if you only have a certain amount of knowledge, there's other people that have even more knowledge or different ideas. So it's always best to hire people, if you can, that are better than you, 100%.
Totally. Yeah, that's one of the best things I feel like I've ever done. But yeah, I've had to overcome a lot of pride issues as well, and um, tell myself like it's okay that you don't know everything, and no one expects you to know everything. Focus on what you're good at. That's why you're here.
Yes, definitely. So you've just given us a lot of advice, but what would you say is your biggest business advice for someone in our industry?
Um, Gosh, there's so many things I want to say. I think one of the things I'm really focused on right now is um, being a team player. And what I mean by that is we are we're in a new industry. Lashes haven't been around for very long, and everyone's seeming to go like the wild west with it, like which is it's exciting. Like it's a great time to be a part of it. But don't don't shut the door on people and opportunities. Keep an open mind and um be collaborative. You know, people get into this phase where they're like, I'm the best at what I do. This salon's lucky to have me. I'm the best at what I do. These students are lucky to have me as a trainer. Um, I'm the best at what I do. Like, you shouldn't buy any other products but mine. I think we need to stop that mentality. Like, everybody is offering something really amazing in our new industry. I think we just all need to look at what opportunities we have in front of us and be more collaborative and more supportive of each other. So it's like a paradigm shift. Instead of saying people are lucky to have you, or that you're God's gift to the industry or God's gift to the salon that you're working in, maybe say, wow, this is such a great opportunity that I have, that I'm working in this amazing industry, in the beauty industry. I'm doing lashes, I'm doing what I love. Where are my opportunities? Who needs my help? How can I be a good team player at this salon? How can I help grow this industry in a positive way? And I think there just needs to be a paradigm shift a little bit in our industry. And I will admit it has gotten a lot better since the time that I joined the industry, but I still see this isolation that people put themselves in. And I just think collaboration over competition is key. And it's amazing what doors open up to you when you start being more collaborative.
Yeah, I fully agree with that, definitely. What has been your biggest high in business so far? I bet you've got so many.
um, yeah, I was thinking about this question, and there's been a lot of really amazing highs. With highs also come lows. And so this is kind of an interesting one, but a few years ago in the business, I just I don't really know how to put it other than I was just having a really hard time. It just seemed like things were not falling into place. Um, we were experiencing growing pains. I realized that I didn't understand what I was doing completely in running a business. And I brought on a CEO, which was life changing for me because it allowed me to focus on the things that I love doing and I could reignite my passion. And when he came on, we really sat down and we started to have to figure out the structure of the business. And that was hard. It was hard to realize that I maybe hadn't hired the right people or that I hadn't managed correctly. It was hard for me to realize a lot of the mistakes that I had made and that I needed to have a lot more humility and um, almost, I don't want to say step back, but I didn't have to have my hand involved in everything. Um, so that was a hard thing for me to realize, just all those shifts and all those changes. And that's what happens when you bring on a CEO or someone that is a lot more experienced than you to come in and operate your business. It doesn't mean that I'm not heavily involved in my business. I'm here every single day, and I work still 60, 70 hours a week, but I'm just working on different things. So that was a low in and of a sense, where I had to do all this kind of like cleaning out and self-realization and hit some hard times to realize that there was so much more ahead of me, and that was the beginning of one of the best highs in the business, because shortly after bringing on the CEO, I started to see systems come into place. I started to see my passion being reignited. Um, our trainings became much more streamlined. Our products were in stock much more often, and instead of being out of everything, our customer service fell into place. All of a sudden, it was like I watched my company go from this like bootstrapped company with I'm basically fueling and running everything, to finally having the help that I've always needed, and I could start to see my vision more clearly. And I feel like that was one of the biggest highs I've ever experienced. Like, I've never felt like a weight has been lifted off of my shoulders more. And that's when I started learning the most that I've ever learned in the business, was working underneath the CEO, and having him help me realize all of the amazing potential that this business had, and all of my amazing potential. And it was really cool.
Wow, that's really cool. So you, again, that's again bringing in staff members that are possibly better than you at doing certain things. That's made your company grow to that as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was a huge learning experience, and I got a lot of feedback that was really hard to take. Nobody loves getting feedback. It's, you get that pit in your stomach. But
Mhm.
uh, with all the feedback that I was given, I decided, what, I could be devastated and upset by this, or I can take it and I can learn from it. And obviously I have a lot of things that I need to change and adjust, and I'm going to. And it was a really cool self-realization that if I want to have a company that's bigger than I am, then I have to think bigger than I am.
Yeah, definitely. Was it a really hard decision to be able to bring on a CEO in the company, knowing that obviously, again, like with pride and stuff, that someone else is going to come in that possibly bigger than, not bigger than you, but will be running the company a lot and stuff. Was it quite hard to make that decision to bring someone in?
Oh, I was terrified. I held off on it for so long because I had all the control in the business pretty much. I mean, my husband and I founded the company together, but I've been like the kind of like the main forefront. He came onto the company about a year and I guess it was about 2 years into the company, my husband came on full time and we were running it together. But it was really hard to bring on a CEO. It was, for sure. I held off on it. My husband recommended it a few times. I fought him on it. And finally, when I did make the decision to do it, I was like, why didn't I do this sooner? Oh, yeah, because I wanted all the control. So letting go of control was a really healthy thing for me.
Yeah, I think all business owners, salon owners, and entrepreneurs that are listening to this podcast will definitely be able to relate to that.
Yeah, it's just, and I think everybody knows when it's time to bring on somebody that's bigger than you. Founders come sign it. Let's see. I've talked to a lot of founders, and a lot of things that I hear from founders is um, they tend to have one area of the business that they're super passionate about, and that's how their business grew, is because they were super passionate about it. So mine, for example, was marketing. I'm infatuated by marketing. I love packaging, I love PR, I love every last bit about marketing. And that's one of the things that grew Borboleta as quickly as it grew. So other founders that I've talked to have said, mine's product, or mine's this, or mine's that. Well, when your company grows, you also have to manage things that you're not as passionate about. I'm not passionate about operations, accounting, um, the day to day of things. There's just a lot of things I'm not passionate about. And so that's when I finally realized, like, wait a second, I'm only hurting myself by trying to be the CEO. What am I doing here? I hate what I'm doing. I barely even get to touch marketing because my hands are in so many other things. I'm putting out fires every day. Why am I not bringing on a CEO so that I can fully invest myself back into what I love? And after talking to a lot of other founders, and they've been in my same shoes, we're like, yep, same exact thing happened to me. So it is really cool to see that come full circle. It doesn't mean that it's easy to give up full control, but if you can, I think you'll start to realize why you started, why you got into what you did, and your passion becomes reignited.
Yeah, I definitely think I need to take a leaf out of your book. I'm learning to delegate. That's how far as it gets. Having still control over the company. My assistant laughs at me. She's like, just hand over more stuff. And I'm like, I just can't do it yet.
No, and it takes some time, and do it when you're ready. Like, no one can force you into that.
Definitely. So you have quite a bit coming up. What events have you got coming up? Where can people like see you or book tickets or anything like that?
Um, so this is actually really exciting. I'm speaking at the yacht conference in London here in about 3 weeks. So will I see you there?
I'm not actually there, but I have spoken to Jill about possibly meeting up at some point while she's in the UK. So I'm about in London, but I'm not there. So definitely give me a shout when you're here, and if you've got some free time, we can meet up.
Yeah, I would love that. So yeah, I will be out at that conference. I'm bringing little baby Scotty with me. She does really good on airplanes, so
Oh,
I think that'll be an interesting flight. But we tried out a 6-hour flight and she did amazing. So I'm like, okay, we can do a 10-hour flight. Um, so yeah, I'll be in London next speaking, and I'm really excited to be out there. I love London. It's like one of my favorite cities for sure.
yeah, it is really cool here, definitely. And did I see that you're going to be in Australia at some point as well?
Yeah, so I will be in, let's see, November. Yeah, I'll be in Melbourne in November speaking at a conference out there.
Wow, that's exciting. Have you been there before?
No, I'm a little, I love the idea of going to Australia. I'm a little bit scared of spiders. I know that sounds so silly, but someone told me that there's a lot of spiders out there. So I don't know. I need to get that phobia out of my mind. But
Oh, well, I went to Australia last year and I actually didn't see any spiders, so I think you might be okay.
okay, that makes me feel a lot better. I am having nightmares about it. I That's like such a bizarre thing, but I am really excited to go.
Oh, that would be so fun. Well, I'm not going to keep you much longer because I know you want to get back to your baby girl, but I just want to thank you so much for coming on. It's been amazing to have you on the show, and I've been hunting you down for a long time now.
Oh, thank you. I know, I'm so glad that our schedules aligned, and it was awesome to be able to talk to you. So thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you soon.